Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to another installment of Mark My Words. And the question I've been asking myself lately is, can racism be defeated? Well, the short answer is yes, it can. As we all know, racism has been a factor of the world for nigh on 300 years, maybe longer, which is linked to several events such as slavery, civil rights movement, etc. Interesting fact, Britain were one of the first to abolish slavery in 1807. They bought the slaves off of the slavers in order to free them, and ensured their freedom that way. We are the starting point of the abolition of slavery, which is great, and it's something to be proud of. And then the USA abolished slavery in 1865, courtesy of Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War, which is great as well. Which I find very weird that his statue has been desecrated since he fought for the abolition of slavery, and he even died for it. As for current events, I don't need to tell you really about George Floyd. He's literally on the news every 10 seconds. People have had moments of silence for him. They've been kneeling for him. But what happened to him definitely should not have happened. I am one of the first people to say that. You know, he should be in police custody this time. Like, the situation was nuts. There's 4 cops there. He was lying on the floor cuffed. There was no reason to kneel on his neck at all. That was completely out of order. One thing people are starting to see now is they're trying to make a martyr out of the man, and that's the part I disagree with, because the man is a repeat offender, and a lot of his cases linked with cocaine, even a home invasion on a pregnant woman, and he was even committing a crime the day he died. He was high on meth, and he was using counterfeit dollar bills. And the argument I usually get of people, especially people who very strongly believe with Black Lives Matter, etc., is, so that justifies what happened to him then, does it? The answer is no, it doesn't justify what happened to him, but I believe he shouldn't be made into a martyr either. He's a criminal that doesn't stand for any cause, but at the same time, he's a victim. There were faults on both sides of this situation. Also, I want to clear up the All Lives Matter controversy that's been happening, because anyone who says it is labelled as a racist. People say it undermines the cause, Black Lives Matter, and that is not the case whatsoever. We say all lives matter because we agree with your statement by saying Black Lives Matter just as much as any other life on the planet, and that is true. Don't get me wrong, there are racists out there, and they need to be educated. That's the thing with the human race, we don't all think the same. Nobody does. Some people are brought up on ignorance, and sometimes it can't be helped. To me, it is not racist for saying that all lives matter because it's the truth. My life matters, Black Lives Matter, every other person and different race, they all matter as well. And that leads to my, solution to beating racism. We need to stop seeing colour and start seeing people. It doesn't help that the race card has been abused a lot of the time. Even got white people playing the race card. When I was working on the doors one time, there was this young black girl, could be 18 or 19, and the manager told me that this girl's had way too much to drink, so can you ask her to leave? And when I went up to her, I'd already built a rapport with her beforehand, so she was nice and civil, but 3 of her white friends tried to make out that I was racist for asking her to leave, and I ended up giving them a massive bollocking of their life, because I have every right to be offended, because I've been brought up to respect people of any ethnicity. Did make me lose my cool a bit, and it got to the point where I was borderline banning these girls for misusing the race card. It's getting to the point where it's going to be like the boy who cried wolf, and we need to start dealing with these hate crimes when they're actually happening, not when people are just using it willy-nilly to kind of get some point scoring. And to me, that is unacceptable behaviour. It's not only is it childish, but it's stupid. Now, there's a quote that I recently looked at Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech on I Have a Dream, and there's one message that really speaks to me, and I think everyone should know this, and it links with my argument of seeing people rather than colour. Here's the quote. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. And yeah, he hits the nail on the head. It was 1963 and he hit the nail on the head. This is how we should start seeing people. People shouldn't have a certain privilege because of their skin colour. Like, I'm the first one to rule out white privilege. I think it's all bollocks. Because with me, I've had to work hard for everything I've achieved anyway. I don't feel privileged at all. I think that's a pile of shit. But for me, I always judge people by character, not by the skin colour or their god. I'm happy to greet anyone. As long as they're decent to me, I'll be decent to them. This is how we should all see that. And this links with the grooming gang stuff. A lot of the times they weren't challenged because a lot of the people committing the crimes were Pakistani Muslim men. Even the police and higher-ups, they were terrified of being seen as racist. But the way I see it is, I see people committing crimes, abusing young girls. They deserve to be punished. As you can see, I'm implementing what I'm saying now. I'm not seeing colour, I'm not seeing religion, I'm not seeing anything else. I'm seeing people doing bad things, and I believe they should pay for their crimes. Thank you so much for listening in, guys. It's been a pleasure to talk about a subject that I'm really passionate about and something I really believe in. If you have any opinions of yourself, please let me know in the comments. After all, I'm still learning about this subject. I'm not an expert by any means, so definitely share any links or whatever in the comments. Please be sure to like, subscribe and share, and also turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Thank you and good day, guys.